Thank you for having me. I'm bringing it down a notch. I'm not real tech savvy, so you're going to have to listen to me babble up here the whole time. We are the smallest company you'll hear about today. I was very impressed with Northern engraving all the spots on the map. I could take a pen and go up there and just hit a little pinprick, and that's us in Tomah, Wisconsin. We are the oldest, though, 116 this year. And I swear to God, thank you. There are days I feel like I've been there for every one of them. But seriously, though, I'm really proud of the fact that I get to stand up here and talk about our store. 116 years of family heritage. And I'm the one lucky enough to get up to stand up here and talk about our store. And there were so many people there before me that are gone now that put all the hard work and sweat to keep the store going. And I thank you for that. Now, as I said, our store started in 1900. I see a lot of familiar faces here. For those that have been in the store, you know what we're about. For those of you that don't, we are an old-fashioned department store. And when I say old-fashioned, I mean our layout. Our building was built in 1906. So if you're from a small town or ever visited and you're my age, 50 or up, you had a business in your town that back to school, you'd go get your shoes, clothes, books, pencils. That was us. And to a certain effect, we still are that store today, give or take a few items. But we are very proud of the fact that we have been able to serve the Tomah community. Now, we offer men's, women's, children's clothing, and clothing is work, sport, dress, casual, shoes for the entire family, furniture, gifts. Now that I've told you what we are today, I'm going to give you a little brief history. I'm going to take 116 years and tell you what we did in 5 minutes. So in 1900, 3 men came from Reedsburg area. They chose Tomah because of the rail system, which is much like the interstate system today, where it divides in Tomah. Everything came through the rail and went out through the rail. So the 3 men came to Tomah. The names were Alois Fix, John Bettinger, and Herman Rose, and Herman was my great-grandfather. They bought a building that was existent in Tomah, a smaller building. And if you don't know our history, it's Tomah Cash Mercantile. And what that was is at the turn of the century, the 20th century, they bartered. So if you brought produce, I should preface this, is that our main stay was groceries at that time. So if you were a farmer and you brought your products in, we actually offered cash instead of just the barter system where you would trade for other products. So these 3 gentlemen started their store. They had groceries, fabrics, clothing, and shoes. Pretty much every essential item you needed for life at that time. They did quite well for 6 years. And in 1906, they decided to build the current building that we're in. And if anybody's familiar with Tomah, then you know the Sherman House. The Sherman House used to sit, and it was a very big motel for that time. It used to sit exactly where we are today. Well, these gentlemen bought that lot, and the Sherman House wanted to continue running, so they moved that motel back with teams of horses, logs, and dragged it back there. So the gentlemen were much like the Walgreens of today. They wanted to be on a corner. So they built this building with teams of horses, pulleys, and a lot of back labor. And they set up, and at that time, it was the largest building in Monroe County. And it went that way for several years. So they continued on, and eventually the owners, about 20 years, they started to sell their sections off. And at one point, there was 7 different owners in our company. That went on for years, and it amazes me that they were able to make it through world wars, depression, multiple ownership changes, and continue to flourish. Business went on till about the mid-50s, and that was when my grandfather and his brothers, along with the other owners, were there. My grandfather passed away not much older than I am now, and it forced my father into the business. My father came in, John Rose, with his brother-in-law, John Graff, and they eventually bought out each and every owner took them till about 1962, I would think. At that time, in the late 50s, supermarkets started to become prevalent, so that signaled the end of our grocery department. So they added furniture and a larger children's department. And in the 60s, they had everything, all the other owners were taken care of, and business stayed the same pretty much department-wise through mid-70s. At that point, they could see that they needed to expand. So they took our basement, which was all storage, renovated it, added probably 10,000 square feet of selling space, bought the building next door, which was a hardware store, moved our men's department over there, expanded men's, women's departments. It worked very well for them, and they've been consistently in front of the times all the way through. In 1988, my brother and I bought my dad and my uncle out. And we, at that time, our product mix was getting quite antiquated. And every customer we had was probably median age of 60 to 70. And we could see that we needed to bring that age down. Every hearse that went by was one less customer at that point. That's true. The best move we ever made is we brought our wives in at that time. And I know there's guys going out there, you don't have enough stress in business with bringing your wives in. Trust me, I have a little fashion sense. My brother has to have help getting dressed in the morning. He has none. And I can say that because he's not here. So, our wives came in, and they are very fashion forward. They brought in labels that we needed to have. We carry Under Armour, Carhartt, Red Wing. I can go on for days on the different labels we have, but it brought our average age down probably 20 to 30 years. I mean, our average customer is probably 30 to 40 years old now. We really can service anybody from the cradle to the grave. We have everything that you would need in our store. Now, for the last 7 years now, 28 years, we have continually tried to bring in new products. We keep our labels fresh and current. So if you have not been to our store, it's an experience. Our gift department, which my wife and sister-in-law buy for, we're told by everybody, is probably one of the best in the area. And they work very hard. And they bring in a right product mix, and we're extremely lucky to have been supported by the Toma area for 116 years. Now you probably wonder, how do you stay in business for 116 years just through Toma? Well, you can't. So we, in the last 10, 15 years, have started to venture out. You know, we do a little online sales now, which is works that continues to progress. We go out. You can't sit in your store and wait for business to come in anymore. The days of opening your doors and just putting out your hand to collect the money is over. We go out to to Cranfest, different craft shows. We take our furniture to, we have log furniture. We take it to campground shows, hand out pamphlets, flyers, and it brings a lot of out-of-town business in. We do a lot of advertising, and as I said, we've been fortunate that Toma has supported us as long, and we see the need to get out online. We have an online presence. You go to our website. The other things we do, we diversify our products. It helps to have so many different departments in our store. It seems like if the clothing isn't going as well, maybe we're selling furniture. And we've always prided ourselves on 4 different points: service, selection, quality, and price. And the service, we want you to come into our store, have a good experience, and want to come back. Tell your friends. We are probably the only place that you will come in and buy a sofa and have the owners deliver it to you. My brother and I still do it, and he's 63 years old. We're still delivering our own furniture. We were brought up that way with a work ethic, and we still, to this day, stand by it. We carry selection. As I mentioned the labels before, it's fine, but if you don't carry a lot of it, don't carry it at all. So we carry a large selection. We put a lot of time and money into selecting those products. And their quality, we carry the quality name brands. And then all of that, if you don't have the price, in Toma. It's nothing for somebody to jump in a car and drive 50, 100 miles or go online and get it somewhere else. We are as low or lower than any of our competitors, and we have to be. And those are the principles on which this store was started on, and those are the same principles that we hold today. Thank you.